Now this is the Lenovo ideapad 320S, which is a new breed of computers which are relatively low priced but come with an SSD hard disk. So let's switch it on. The reason SSDs are very good is they are very fast at file access. So what it means is that even on relatively low spec computers, this is running a 2017 Pentium processor, the 4415U. You can see if you run Windows at home and you've got a physical hard drive, you probably find that it wouldn't be anywhere near as quick as that for starting up unless you've got a much more powerful device. But if you're on a low end or a few years old device, you might be surprised at how quick these can run. So let's put the Chrome browser on, put Edge on, Microsoft Word, launch Publisher, and let's put on the Windows Store as well. So now all those things are loading up. In fact, they all pretty much look like they're loaded up already. Let's go on Edge and we'll go for YouTube. So let's go for trending. Let's just find something we can play. So there you go, Jumanji trailer. Let's start that playing, just to show that everything's still running in the background. So we got Word. Let's open up a template so you can see still scrolling nicely and smoothly through that. Let's go back to PowerPoint, pick a template for that, so that's now launched. Go back, so the video is playing here on Edge. Let's go to, well, it's already on 1080. Let's go full screen. Go back to Google Chrome. Let's do something else on YouTube. So this is my site. Let's do one of my videos from ages ago. Something I was selling on eBay. So here we've got two videos playing at the same time. We've got two documents open, we've got the Windows Store open, and as you can see it doesn't really suffer much of a speed hit at all. Let's see if we can, well, that's just files. What else have we got here of note? There's no photos on there anyway. I'm not logged into Skype. I suppose we could launch Excel. And also anything else that's worth putting on. Boom, boom. Camera. Oh, let's not do the camera. That's me. So let's go whatever that template is. Template sampler. There you go. So now we've got Excel, PowerPoint, Word, the Windows Store. We've got a video still playing out, someone else's video playing of some Lego. Let's get that full screen, and if we go back here, it's playing another video here. So really not struggling at all. I'm really impressed with how this operates in general. So the combination of what it's got, so it's a Pentium 4415U, which is a step under the i3 7100. But the only differences I could find is it runs at a slightly lower clock speed, 2.3 gigahertz as opposed to 2.4. Same number of cores, same number of threads. It's got a few less dedicated instructions, but wasn't really going to concern me for this particular use. And the cache, the level 3 cache, is 2048, whereas on the i3 it's 3072. So overall, performance for modest tasks like this aren't going to be that different, and the addition of then having a 128 SSD keeps it really quick, so that's very good. It's got 4 gig of RAM, which is quite low, but the SSD kind of compensates for that. I won't be doing massive multitasking. Obviously you could see that I was putting lots of things going then in it, and it really wasn't struggling too much. So the design of it's very nice. It's got really quite a nice sized trackpad. As you can see here, keyboard is quite well laid out. It's a 14-inch laptop. The back is metal, which is again quite surprising for this sort of level of device. £350 device. USB. There's a USB 2 and a USB 3 SD slot, and then we've got unusually again a USB-C 3.1 socket, so really quite a modern socket, headphone socket, and then HDMI. That was the other USB that I mentioned earlier on. 2 speakers. That's the Harman Kardon bit. And yeah, really, for the price, I think it's really all of a sudden made relatively cheap laptops. As I say, £350. If you're not high-end video editing or photo manipulation or 3D graphics or gaming, and you just want a computer to do things that web browsing and office tasks and things like that, really I think it's impressive. And I don't really want any more from this particular computer for the use that it's going to be for, and it's how Windows should be, almost as a minimum spec. If you can get Windows with 4 GB of RAM, an SSD and a Pentium or above processor, I think generally you're not going to be disappointed for modest use. The reason people don't generally complain about Macs is that you can't buy a cheap Mac. All the Macs have an SSD, all the MacBooks have an SSD and a reasonably fast processor, because they start at £800–900. Whereas with Windows computers, you can buy a Windows computer for £130 if you look around. Some with 1 gig or 2 gig of RAM, low-end Celeron processors or low-end AMD processors, and that as an experience is just disappointing. Whereas something like this is what Windows should be like, really. As an operating system, it's very good, it's very fast, it's very stable, it's nice to use, it multitasks well. So that's my recommendation. I've bought one, and I would say if you're looking for something that is for modest tasks, then it's a good laptop. Okay, thanks for watching. Let's see how quick it shuts down. Now, sometimes Windows is doing updates, and that's why it takes longer to shut down. I've done some updates on this recently. Light's still on, so it's not completely off yet, but now it is. Alright, thanks for watching.